I suppose from our Irish readers, so I said I was meeting with you and I'm going to talk to you about hydrogen. The first question that they ask me is, how long? How long is it going to be before they're in hydrogen machines? But that's really not down to JCB, is it?
No, well,
because you have it already, it's ready to go.
We're pushing on with it. We've got to get all the rules and regulations clear. We're well on with all of those. We then just need the hydrogen supply and that confidence. I mean, to reassure everyone, when you jump on the machine, it's identical. Mm-hmm. You know, if they were the same colour, and you wouldn't know if you were on a diesel or a hydrogen, the machines perform exactly the same. The only difference is when you come to refuel them.
And the other question then is cost. Is that going to be a huge factor? Are the machines? You know, some people would say to me, well, look, you know, the concerns are big. You know, they're huge. Like, what's the cost of us not, you know, transferring to a greener fuel? But obviously, the owners of this equipment, their concerns are really going to be about cost. And if that diesel option is there for them, they're always going to, because we see it very much in Ireland, the option between going green is too expensive and doing it is while working on very fine, tight margins. What's the cost going to be, Tim? Is it going to be?
So I mean, the one thing we've all got to kind of work out is, you know, do we want to have a carbon-free world? And if we do, there will become a point in time, sadly, where we just can't use the fossil fuels. Mm-hmm. And there'll also be a point in time, potentially, where we run out of fossil fuels. The big challenge is, and nobody wants to use that term, but if the only really rule the governments of the world haven't decided is when we stop shipping fossil fuels. So if they hadn't talked about all the products moving and they just said, oh, actually all fossil fuels are going to stop by 2048 or 2062, we'd all have a completely different mindset.
For sure.
So if you push diesel to one side, you're left with pretty much four solutions. One is tethered, and it's okay if you've got a product that sits there, but it doesn't work for us because our machines are always on the move. The second one is batteries. For a small machine that only works for 2 hours of full power a day, okay, the machine only costs twice as much because of the battery cost. If you want to operate an excavator and you want to run continually for 16 hours, you know, you can do an excavator that only runs for 4 hours and then does 2 or 3 hours of charge. But if you wanted to do a full shift, you know, a double shift, and you wanted to run it for 16 hours and leave 8 hours for charging, you'd probably have to put £400,000 worth of batteries on, 10 tons of batteries on a 20-tonner. So that's very expensive. So your 20-ton excavator might go from, I don't know, 130 to 160,000 to 400,000 or 500,000. The fuel cell's no different. So fuel cell is £100,000 for that size machine. Then you've got power batteries, you've got DC converters. So again, you've got another machine that goes from, you know, 120, 30, 40 to probably 500,000.
Okay.
The beauty of the hydrogen combustion engine is the engine is pretty much the same cost. The only difference is the cost of the tanks. So the cost of the tanks, if you use a lot of fuel and you need a massive tank, then okay, it could be 30, 40% more. Okay. But it's not 3 or 4 times more. If it's a machine like a load haul, construction load haul, it doesn't actually consume much fuel. Your tank size is very small and the premium could be a lot less. So we've got to get in our mind that what we're trying to do is to get as close to diesel as possible. And we can with the engine. We just need to get those tanks right. There might be a slight premium, but actually it's nothing in the grand scale of things. What we've got to do is to get hydrogen at the right price.